Are the Giants planning on making a trade for JJ McCarthy? There's been a lot of smoke around that, and Mel Kiper, ESPN's NFL draft experts, he shared his thoughts on a trade of McCarthy going from Minnesota to Big Blue. We're going to react to those quotes, and I'll give my thoughts on them coming up in a second. But first, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. First, I want to say thank you to all 886 people in January that have hit that big red sub button. But I'm trying to beat the Cowboys Report and Eagles Now, two other NFC East channels here at Chat Sports. If you want free, informative, entertaining updates every day on the Giants and you hate the Eagles and Cowboys, hit that sub button right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to Mel Kiper saying if the Giants have the number 3 pick, which they do, they should trade it for JJ McCarthy. He was asked on ESPN radio this morning saying, would you trade pick number 3 for JJ McCarthy? He said yes, and he made it seem like the Giants could be open to that possibility. We've talked about McCarthy being a trade candidate a couple of different times on this channel. I tweeted back out on December 18th of 2024, would you trade the number 2 pick, which the Giants owned at the time, for McCarthy? 600 people replied. 600 people said no. But it seems like the conversation and the people that are hearing it are warming up to the idea of making that blockbuster trade happen. This is what McCarthy said, this is what Mel Kiper had to say on JJ McCarthy when talking about why he would trade the Giants' 3rd overall pick to acquire JJ. He mentioned that he's younger than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, that is true. JJ is still just 21 years old at this moment. He will turn 22 on January 20th. Kiper also said he would be the number 1 quarterback in this draft class. He went outside of the top 10 in the 2024 class, but he did say he does think he is the best quarterback in this class. And he also mentioned that if Aller, quarterback for Penn State, Drew Aller, decides to change his mind and go to the NFL draft after saying he was going to return to Penn State for his next season, he said that JJ would still be ahead of him. So he's younger than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and he is the number 1 quarterback in this class per Mel Kiper, and that is why he would make that pick. I have a little bit of a different opinion than Kiper. I am a big JJ McCarthy guy. I was a fan of his, and I would have been okay with the Giants selecting him at number 6. At the time of the draft, when the Giants were on the clock and McCarthy was on the board, I wanted them to pick Malik Neighbors because I think Neighbors is one of the better receiver prospects that we had seen in recent memory. But I do like McCarthy, so much so that I have him as the number 2 overall quarterback in this class. I've done tape study on the top 4 guys in this class, and I feel very comfortable saying that JJ is number 2 behind my guy Cam Ward. But when it comes to the Giants making a trade for him, let's talk about it. First and foremost, I love the idea of JJ McCarthy as the leader, as the face, as the captain, and as the quarterback of the New York Football Giants. The Giants are stuck in the mud right now. They've lost 25 games in the last 2 years. They need a leader. They need a captain, and they need someone that is a winner. And J.J. McCarthy has won at every stage of football that he has played at. He's done it in high school, and he's done it in college. Maybe it's because he had great teammates around him, but I think he does deserve a lot of credit for the winning formula that he continues to crack everywhere he decides to put on a helmet and shoulder pads. I also, on the other side, don't love the fact that he already missed an entire year of his he missed his entire rookie year of his NFL career. Not so much because of the contract. He missed a year of practice. He missed a year watching game film. He missed a year of reps, and he had a torn meniscus, which has required 2 surgeries. I don't love that, but I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world. And when it comes to Marshall, do you really think J.J. McCarthy is an elite quarterback? You know what? I'm not sure. But my tape study says I think he can be. But I'm going to lean on someone that I know is a lot smarter than me when it comes to judging quarterbacks in this league. If Kevin O'Connell, the head coach for the Minnesota Vikings, thinks that J.J. McCarthy is a franchise quarterback, which he has said time and time again that he is, I'm going to believe KOC because he is someone that I think is one of the smarter quarterback minds and offensive minds in the NFL right now. For the anti-JJ crowd, Because there's a lot of people that say, Marshall, why on earth would the Giants trade number 3 for McCarthy when they had him at 6? Marshall, McCarthy already has a year less on his contract. Marshall, McCarthy this, McCarthy that. Let's talk about it. Isn't the end goal when you're going to try to pick a quarterback is to just get the best one, the one that you believe in the most, the one that you think can get this franchise back on the tracks of being a respectable and competitive team in the NFC East? Isn't that the end goal? Not of, oh, well, we could have had him last year and we liked him, which the Giants did, but we're going to pass on him last year and we're going to not do it this year because we didn't like him last year, even though we think he's better than the quarterbacks this year. That makes no sense. And look, if your goal is this, to get the best QB you can, and you end up having to pay JJ McCarthy a year early because he already wasted the first year of his rookie scale contract, that's best case scenario. That's a great problem to have. If over the next 4 seasons, because he still has 4 seasons on his rookie deal, JJ McCarthy plays well, and then you realize you got to pay him, I'm not going to be upset that the Giants have to pay a franchise quarterback. I'm going to be fist pumping and I'm going to be dancing and saying, hell yeah, because the Giants have a franchise quarterback. I don't care how many years are left on the contract. If he's the guy, if he's the best one, and you think he can be the person that gets you right, I don't care if you got to pay him a year early. That's a good problem to have. I had JJ as QB4 for me last year in the NFL draft. I had Caleb Williams 1, Drake May 2, Jaden Daniels 3, and JJ McCarthy 4. I believe in him as a player, I believe in him as a person, and I believe in him as a prospect and as a leader and a captain in the face of the organization. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I got to cover him when he was in high school for IMG, got to talk to him and got to interview him, but I believe this is a guy that is a winner through and through, and he is someone that is looked at as an alpha people look up to, people rally around, and that they want to play for. My question to you is, would you do this trade? JJ McCarthy going to the Giants. The Giants sent at pick number 3 in the 2025 NFL draft to the Minnesota Vikings. Mel Kiper, he said he would do it. My question to you is, would you make the trade? Would you trade the number 3 pick to have a shot at JJ McCarthy being your next franchise quarterback? Let me know. Type A for accept, type D for decline. Sound off for me in the comments section. I would accept this trade if Cam Ward is off the board, because I do have Cam Ward graded out a little bit higher than JJ McCarthy. And when I factor in the 5th-year option for him, I like that a little bit more. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to for me is this. I think Cam Ward is better, but I think JJ McCarthy is better than Shedeur Sanders. So if Sanders is the only quarterback on the board, yeah, I would make the trade for McCarthy. And if Sanders and Cam Ward are gone, yeah, I'm really going to go out and make this trade. Unfortunately, it might have to be done before the NFL draft. I'm sure the Vikings would like to know maybe a couple weeks before that they have the number 3 pick and how it could play out and who might be on the board when they are on the clock. We're going to do a scouting report on JJ McCarthy, go back on some of the numbers and talk more about this in a second. First, though, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor here at Chat Sports, and that's Game Time. NFL playoffs are here, and Game Time is the best place to get your NFL playoff tickets. And the app, they guarantee they get the best seats for the lowest price. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. So if you're a little bit of a procrastinator like I am, you're going to love Game Time. Also, they have the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. And if you use that promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. So download the app, create an account, use that promo code ChatSports, and get $20 off. See your seat view in the app. Access your tickets from your phone. It's extremely easy to resell your tickets as well. I love 2 features that they have that I use every time when I use the app. It's the all-in pricing feature. That way the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees when you get to checkout. And the Game Time Picks feature as well is going to make it that much more easy to go see your favorite team perform. It's more than just sporting events, though. You go to concerts, you go to theater events, comedy shows, and so much more. So one more time, download the app, create an account, use that promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. What time is it? It's game time. Support the show, support the sponsor. I'm sure there's already 50 comments on today's video that say, but Marshall, why on earth would Joe Schoen trade the number 3 pick when they could have had him at number 6 last year? Seems like such a logical take, right? Why would I trade a better pick for a prospect that I passed on with the worst pick, right? Sounds good until you actually use your brain to think about it. Maybe Wild thought they had Malik Neighbors graded as a higher prospect than JJ McCarthy. And maybe they have JJ McCarthy ranked as a higher prospect than they did with any quarterback in the 2025 class. Another thought, John Mara told them you need to build a roster to support Daniel Jones in 2024 for his final year with the New York Football Giants. Do we think that's the craziest thing, Mr. Meddling John Mara? No, it's not a wild concept. And also, the Giants did a buttload of work on JJ McCarthy last year. You only get 30 visits inside the facility. Top 30 visits. One went to JJ McCarthy. What about when Joe Schoen and Brian Dable hopped on a PJ on Easter Sunday to go to the Michigan football stadium and they did a private workout? You're telling me they did a private workout and they didn't like him? You're telling me they had him on a top 30 visit and they didn't like him? Maybe they didn't like him more than Malik Neighbors, but they definitely thought he was someone that at least deserved a top 30 visit, that at least deserved a private workout. I think they like him a lot more than people think. And also this, the pick number isn't what makes a pick valuable. Sometimes the third pick in a draft is more valuable than the first pick. So for the Bo Marshall, we can't trade 3 for him. We didn't even take him at 6. Would you rather have the third pick in the 2024 class or the first pick in the 2025 class? Come on, use your brain. We would all rather have Drake May than any quarterback in this class. So stop being so simple-minded. Use some more context clues and some critical thinking. It's not that wild of a concept. And McCarthy was damn good at Michigan. What I love is the improvement that he has showed. Completion percentage, improved. Total yards in the season, improved. Pushed the ball down the field more. Found a way to stack W's every single week in the Big Ten. And oh yeah, he was a national champion. I also think he's an underrated runner as well. Runner and athlete overall. We saw him in the preseason game for the Vikings kind of make some plays with his legs to buy time, but also used his legs to pick up rushing yards, and he did that at Michigan as well. 18 missed tackles forced this past year, 13 runs at 10-plus yards, and 3 runs of 15-plus yards. The year before that, 14 runs at 10-plus yards and 6 runs of 15-plus yards. This is someone that can make throws within the pocket. This is someone that can create behind the line of scrimmage to make plays downfield and can also make plays with his legs behind the line to open up yards after catch opportunities. A lot of people say Marshall, he played in a system where he just handed the ball off, where he just was gift wrapped everything. Well, when you compare what he was to other quarterbacks in that 2024 class, he stood pretty tall against them, 10 toes down, as I like to say. When you talk about big-time throw percentage, he was neck and neck with the top QBs in the class. Jane Daniels 1, Drake May 2, Michael Penix 3, Caleb Williams 4. Everyone talks about how big of an arm Caleb Williams has, how all the what-the-hell plays he made at USC. JJ McCarthy had a 0.2 difference in his big-time throw percentage. I also love the fact that JJ is someone that can make throws on the run. I thought he was the most accurate passer of any of the college quarterbacks last year when he decided or was forced to scramble. His completion percentage out of scrambles, 71.4, nearly 20 percentage points higher than anybody in this class. And for all the people, man, he just relied on Blake Corum. He just relied on running the football. All he did was hand the ball off. Well, the largest percent of his passes out of anyone else in this class came on 3rd and long. He had to make magic happen a lot last year on 3rd and long. Almost 18% of his passes came on 3rd and long. So I think kind of the narrative is a little bit tired that JJ was just carried. Was a great team around him? Yes. If you take off the quarterback last year for Michigan and you put other quarterbacks there, could they win it? Absolutely, because that roster was loaded. But he did a lot of good things that helped them be national champions. It comes down to this, though. With the Giants trading for JJ McCarthy or the Giants not trading JJ McCarthy for McCarthy. It comes down to this. Joe Schoen, if you think JJ McCarthy is a top 2 quarterback in this class, you make the move. You make the trade. because it's more likely than not a quarterback is going to go 1 or 2, and you're not going to be able to get the guy you have number 1. So if you have McCarthy above QB3, or if the first 2 quarterbacks go and you got McCarthy ranked still at a good grade, you go out and make the pick. Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to find a franchise quarterback, the only thing that matters is you got one. And it doesn't matter how you got him. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go G-Men.